Johnny High is sort of backing away from Bird, and Bird said, "Hey, Johnny, you better come up and guard me a little closer. I'm just going to get the ball and shoot a three, and game's over."
Larry not only tells me that, he walked by the bench and says, typical Bird, he's just real slow.
So he tells the Phoenix bench, he tells the coaches, "Yeah, I'm just fixing to bust a three on you guys and just go home. I'm tired of this."
Fixing to bust a three on your guys and go home.
And, Johnny High sort of smiles and laughs about it.
And so he breaks the play.
And then the ball comes into Bird. He just turns around and shoots a perfect three.
Shoots the ball. As the ball's in the air, he kind of turns towards the Phoenix bench and yells, "Told you so!" and takes off running to the locker room.
Larry hits it. He looks at the bench and goes, "Told you so."
Unreal, man.
As he's walking off, he puts an arm on Johnny High's shoulder and he goes, "Johnny, I told you to come out and guard me."
That was Birdie. And he had the confidence, man. That dude had so much confidence. He talked to the coaches. He talked to everybody. He was talking trash all the time, man. But fun. Great competitor, man.
And I just started laughing. I was like, "Oh man." It's just one of those ones where you just kind of, he has such supreme confidence, and it was just. But that's the one when you were back in, and Larry went in and said, "Well, I won the game in the first three quarters, then I lost it in the third quarter, or the fourth quarter, excuse me. Then I won it at the end." He goes, "My record tonight is 2-1." We all just kind of laughed.
Bird used to tell people, I remember he told me a story about Xavier McDaniel. He said,
X-Man, yeah.
X, I'm going to get the ball right here. I'm going to shoot a jumper right in your face.
It was a tie game. They had the ball, and DJ was stalling the basketball. And Larry was kind of standing outside behind him, like denying him the ball. And they called a timeout, and he turned around and looked at me and said, "I'm going to score right here on you." And I said, "I know you will. I'll be ready."
Tie game, 13 seconds to play, Celtics basketball.
During the timeout, I'm going through a play, and about that time, Larry steps in and says, "Coach, why don't you just give me the ball and tell everybody to get out of the way?" That's Larry. And when he wants the ball, he wants the ball. After the timeout, we walked back on the court, and then Xavier was guarding him. So he tells Xavier, he says, "I'm getting the ball."
And Larry said, "I'm going to get it right here, X, and I'm going to shoot it in your face." He hit it and he looked at me and he was like, "Damn, I didn't mean to leave nothing on the clock." He shot a shot right in my face.
I just looked back, and the ball just went in, hit all net. And he said, "I told you so."
And he was like, "I didn't mean to leave 2 seconds on the clock." He wanted to shoot it with 0 seconds on the clock. I walked back to the sideline like, damn.
Now, a lot of people don't know this. You probably know this, Dan, but Larry Bird was one of the biggest trash talkers in basketball. And a lot of people say, really? They thought it was Reggie or Charles. Larry Bird talked more trash on the basketball court than anybody I've ever played against. And he told me two things one game. Our rotations, double teaming Kevin McHale, always had to rotate to the corner, and Larry Bird was the one shooting it. So he shot one, and I'm trying to block this shot, and he would just tell me, "Scott, you're a little too late. A little too late." So we playing him in the last play. He says to James Worthy, he says, "You guys don't have to worry about it. I'm going to go right over that corner." He said, "They're going to set a screen for me. We're taking the ball out." He said, "I'm going to curl right over." And he's telling us to play. He's telling us to play before they even take it out. He said, "I'm going to go right over to that corner, and I'm going to catch it, and I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to tie the game or win the game," whatever the case may be. They take the ball out, and I think it was either Danny or
DJ,
the late, great DJ.
Yeah.
Take the ball out, the man curl right to the corner, caught the shot, shot a three, game over. It's like, are you effing kidding me? It's my Larry Bird story.
Go to shake his hand. I'm a rookie. I'm playing against the Boston Celtics in the Boston Garden. And go shake. And Larry put both hands behind his back. He wouldn't shake my hand. I said, "Okay, he's just getting into the game." First play of the game, he said, "You don't even belong in the league, Holmes." And he shoots a three. Now, I wasn't mad that he made the three. But I said, "Did this some bitch this called me Holmes?" and he came down and did it again, so I'm pissed, So next time down, see me on the breakneck pitch, and I jump up and I throw it down on him. I mean, he fouls me. And he said, "Hey, Rook, I like you. You got heart." He said, "I like you. You got heart, but I'm still getting 30 on you tonight." I said, "But I'm still getting 30 on your ass." I mean, that's who he was.
Didn't Bird shoot left-handed for an entire game against Portland?
Larry told all of us and the media, he said, "Tomorrow night's the last game of the trip. I'm going to play this one left-handed."
I remember it because I was there, and it was at a time when McHale was still coming off the bench, and so he scored the first 8 points of the game left-handed, and Jerome Kersey was guarding him at the time, and I remember this because we had a great trash-talking team. I mean, we had M.L. Carr, we had McHale, we had Bird, we had Ainge was a yacker. I mean, we had guys with great creativity with that, and I'll never forget it. McHale yells out, "Hey, Jerome, wait till you start shooting right-handed." I mean, but like you're talking about one of the great, obviously great players, great competitors. But Bird was a great artist too.
Who's got Larry Bird stories?
Brad Daugherty told me this story when he was second year in the league, and they were in the playoffs against the Celtics. Down one, Larry Bird catches the ball in the deep corner, and he steps back for a three. And before he takes the three, he's like, "Oh, wow, he's going for the win. He's not going for the tie."
Larry Bird catches the ball in the corner. I take off running out at Larry Bird. And right when he's getting ready to shoot, I jump.
And he head fakes him.
And as I go by, him, he tells me, he says, "Fly, Bird."
And as he head fakes him, now it's 3-2, he hits him on the butt with the ball. And then he shoots it at the buzzer. And the confidence that hit him on the butt as he flew by him trying to block a shot.
And I go right by him, he shoots the ball, it's nothing but nylon.
I remember the time when Larry got on the roll, started shooting the ball, every shot was going in.
Goodbye, she's gone. I guess the two-pointer was too close.
When he ran by the bench, he goes, "That's a heat check. Just see how hot I am." All right, he runs by Frank Layden, who's the funniest guy in the league, and Frank is coaching, and Larry says to him, "Hey, Frank, don't you have anybody on that bench that can guard me?" He goes, "So nobody out here can." Frank looked down at the bench and goes, "No."
Beyond an acute awareness of his own commercial potential, Bird waged psychological warfare at the drop of a ball.
The '84 Olympic team was playing an exhibition game against a bunch of pros, including Larry Bird, and they were in the warm-ups. And a ball bounced down from the college end of the court to the pro end. And Michael Jordan went down to chase it. The ball happened to be picked up by Larry Bird. And Michael went up a few feet away from Larry Bird and held out his hands, and Bird took the ball and fired it back down the court over Jordan's head, as if to say, "You're not only not getting this ball, I don't give a damn who you are." Larry Bird knows exactly who this guy is and what's going to happen in the next few years, and he wants to get every edge he can get right now.
But Bird didn't talk trash to you,
Oh, my God. Bird talked trash to everybody.
But didn't he? Did he get to a point where he had respect for you?
I always tell this story about Larry Bird. I remember him, he was cursing under his breath. And I asked him, I said, "Larry, what's going on with you?" He says, "You guys are being disrespectful to me." And I says, "What are you talking about?" He says, "You guys are putting a white guy on me." That's disrespectful.
Wait, who's the white guy you put on him?
I can't remember who it was. I just started laughing. I had no comeback when he says, "It's disrespectful when y'all put a white guy on me."
Here he was out there with a quarter of black guys out there talking trash with him, and the rest of the fellas are sitting there going, "Hey, the boy bad, what can you say?"
I remember we were playing Washington in Washington one night, and Larry just hit what would have been the game-winning shot, but KC called timeout.
It won't count. It does not count. Boston had called a timeout.
Larry came back to the bench, and he was a little upset.
He looks at the bench and says, "Hey guys, when I come back after timeout, I'm going to go right to the same spot, and I'm going to kick it in."
He told Washington, "I'm going to get the ball."
2 seconds left. The Bullets by 1. Aims to Bird. He gets a good shot into Sheldon's winner. Boy, this is something else. Incredible. And Bird wins it at the buzzer.
How many people you know would talk to the other team like this and say, I'm going to stick it in your face?
In last year's playoffs, Person was out to make Bird eat his words while adding a few choice comments of his own.
First time I touched the ball, my very first game, he said, shoot the ball, rookie. Shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. I said, okay, I'll shoot it. Wow, like that, and it went in. And I said, don't ever tell me to shoot the ball. I shoot it every time. And from then on, it's been a battle from the last 6 years.
Chuck Person, he definitely has his reputation. During the playoffs, he just went AWOL.
Chuck and Larry down low, greeting one another once again.
Bird, he has caught fire. Person.
It had something to say afterwards.
And look at Bird. Person didn't dare look at him.
Yeah, it is a little special because I've known Chuck for a while and we've always had run-ins, but it always seems like I get the last word.